Live action roleplay, or LARP, is an extreme type of hobby where people actively participate in epic fantasy worlds and take immersion to a new level. From costumes and potions to chainmail and jerkins, these dedicated adventurers create their own realities and carve their own fate. Although LARP is a popular activity, it carries quite a lot of stereotypes and stigmas. We thought we would track down a LARPing community and get to know what they do and how they feel about the current state of LARP.
Okay, so I've been in contact with Josh, the president of the LARP Society, and he said that they're having a meet-up tomorrow at 2 p.m, which we're invited to, and if we want to ask them any questions, we can.
We went to the University of Portsmouth and contacted the UPLARP Society, where we then met with the members to get to know them better.
So basically what LARPing is, acting with a bit of sword fighting, or as some of us call it, cross-country pantomime, a fantasy world, so anything from like a video game, Skyrim, or Dungeons & Dragons, but you're actually physically doing it. You're dressing up, you're getting weapons, and you're fighting people and living the life of someone else from 1,000 years ago. So the only kind of negative stigma I have is probably the general public will think about it as, if they know about it a little bit, I think it's just, oh, it's a whole bunch of nerds just being silly and all that stuff, but it's really not. There's people from all walks of life that have actually got involved in this. I went to this big event called Empire, and they say there's no filming because there were several members of parliament who were actually there. It's like anything, they don't know about it, so they form a stereotype. If you understood it, then you'd understand that there's nothing that really differs it from, let's say, an actual combat sport, apart from potentially the costumes.
I play an alchemist character, and the alchemist character uses things like these, which are called fizz-rept potions, and so these are just coloured water with certain symbols on, which are supposedly alchemical symbols. I have a book in the language of the system, which I've had to learn, which is basically just English, just substituted symbols. The system itself has its own language, which some people know, which is funny when you find someone who doesn't know it because they can't read or write. I'm allowed to sell potions to people, and this is supposed to be like a ledger of everything I've sold and everything I make, because I'm part of a guild who manages all of that sort of thing. So if I'm caught without this book, or if I'm caught cheating and selling things under price and whatever, I can get in-game punished for it. So to go on certain adventures, you have to have permits for the guilds you're a part of. This one is the Guild of Alchemists, which means I can sell potions and make them. And this one is a mercenaries one, which means I'm allowed to carry a sword and lethal weapons. There's also, in a different system known as Empire, because in that system I play a healer as a different character to the alchemist character, and I can use things like these, which are herbs and different potions and that. So something like this has a description mechanically and like a roleplay effect to a lot of things as well. So for example, I have to roleplay giving them some herbs. In the case I use tea bags. I find them quite useful, so I pull out a tea bag, rip it, put it in my hand and say something to them like, oh, eat this, or apply it to them, and I can rip this card, and it basically means they've had that herb applied to them. This one, for example, restores hits.
Being a girl in the LARP community, I found isn't that much different from being a boy, as far as I can tell. It's much the same. Maybe things are treated a little bit differently, but quite like one of the ones I go to, Empire, it's specifically equal. So you won't have soldiers being referred to as men, because they've always been men and women, and that's kind of carried through. I help make soft kit, which is jackets, shirts, hats, trousers, because my mum's a very good seamstress, so I help her make all that, and also for some soft stuff like scabbards, I also do.
I would definitely consider LARP a way to escape everyday life. You get to be someone else for a little while, and you can learn skills in LARP that aren't applicable in real life. No one in real life cares whether or not you can sword fight, but the people here do. And learning to sword fight is something you only see in films or in television shows, and you're like, oh, I wish I could learn to do that. You can.
My first sort of experience with LARP was like through media and seeing on TV, and basically I assumed it'd be fedoras and neckbeards. But I saw a few clips on YouTube and I thought, oh, it looks more interesting than I thought, and I thought it looks better than I assumed it was, so I thought I'd try a session one time. I started this year, and it was really nice. The whole group was really welcoming. I really enjoyed it so far. Like, I was so afraid I'd get the rules wrong and I'd make a mistake, but they were really helpful. They gave me a guide and everything, and yeah, so if you need help or anything, they'll just ask, and yeah, it's about my first experience so far. It's been really good. My character is a scout, so my duty is to scout ahead of the party, see if there's any traps or anything going on, like other parties going on, and we basically range in daggers and bows and arrows and weaponry. And my character is named Igra Ladeli.
So my character's a doctor, so I'm kind of behind all the big fighters, picking them up when they get hit and injured. I'm very general as a doctor, so I do poisons, I do kind of, when people get spells cast on them, I can cure that. But also I have bandages and I have certain kind of healing alchemy which deals with people's injuries. One time we were splitting the party right at the beginning of the day, because we do adventures like once a day. And the refs advertised this mission where it was going to be kind of almost like a detective story, where one of the adventuring groups would go out and kind of investigate why this village was abandoned. I thought, ooh, I'm not good at fighting, that's the one for me. So I ventured along with the party and we came across the village, and I investigated this well that was apparently diseased, and we had this whole thing where I rappelled down with this rope we tied to a tree. I investigated for undead, and I came out none the wiser. Only to then move on from that village and find out that the people were sick because a troll had urinated in the well. So I now swam in troll urine, which I don't know why I tell people this story, but it's probably the best one for my character, so.
Right, so Michael's just messaged me. He's basically saying he wants us to come round, kind of get to know him a little bit better. He's going to show us some of his armour, and yeah, he's going to tell us a bit more about himself and what he does. So yeah, it should be decent. He wants us to come round at 3 PM tomorrow. So yeah, I'll tell him yes and we'll go around and see him.
Hi guys, I'm Michael. Coming in. My course I do is computer games technology, which is design of video games. I've gone down the programming route because I prefer that. I can't draw. I suck at that. In terms of hobbies, obviously there's the LARP, which I do, and I actually play a lot of sport. So volleyball, I play with a outside team and the university team. Any kind of high adrenaline sport I love as well. Also gaming, like video games on a laptop, had all the original Xboxes, all the original PlayStations. I've played a lot of video games. It's kind of why I wanted to do this course. I enjoyed it. I want others to. I want to create games so others can enjoy. So my volleyball lot, they question and curious. They try and make fun of it, but with me, I don't care. I can have people insult me every day of the week, and I don't mind. I know I enjoy this. I know I love it. I don't really care what other people think. They think it's weird, it's stupid, you look like an idiot. Don't matter what they think. I enjoy this. I've met some great people and I have some of the best times with this. If people think it's stupid, that's their opinion. But I think it's one of the best things I've ever done and I'm going to keep doing it. So to actually get involved, get into costume and stuff takes me roughly around up to 10 minutes. That's if that's on a bad day or if it's raining or something like that. Usually I can get in about 5 to 10, but you know, it's difficult but worth it. When I told my girlfriend I did this, she said it is so cool, wants to try it, but is just so nervous that she won't know anything in the system and kind of worried that she'll make a mistake or something like that. So I'm trying to slowly wean her into playing. I weigh about 11.5 stone. This probably puts me to about 13, 14 stone. Let's try this.
From what we've seen, it would appear that live-action roleplay is a complex worldwide community that share a passion towards creating and exploring vivid universes that are far more complex than we ever imagined. It is a lot more physically demanding than at first glance. There lie many more layers beneath the surface of just sword fighting. Each member of the society has their own story to match their in-game personas. The life of a LARPer is no different than any other, until you venture inside their imagination.